Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Kidmissing Radio. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson, and joining me, hopefully, will be the mother of Heather Danyelle Teague, Sarah Teague. Heather was 23 years old when she was abducted from Newburgh Beach in Spotsville, Kentucky, on the 26th of August, 1995. Initially, a man named Marty Dill was identified as the suspect. He took his own life. He didn't fit the description at all. He had, months before the abduction, shaved his head, so he didn't have long, bushy hair. The person who gave the description insists it was him. It's not possible. Suspect 2, Christopher Below, did fit the description. Long history, is in prison for another crime against another woman. And if you've seen Heather, or you think you've seen Heather, Heather has green eyes, brown hair, she has scoliosis, flat feet, and at the time of her abduction, she was 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighed between 90 and 100 pounds. Initially, the man who saw her abduction did not believe it was a real abduction. He thought a girl and her boyfriend were playing. But he quickly realized when a gun was involved and the girl was ripped out of her beach chair that something wasn't right. Ohio detectives, because this is right across the Ohio River from Ohio, believe that Below is responsible. In fact, the beach was on the Ohio River. Excuse me. She was taken around 12:45 in the afternoon. There's some speculation that the two men could have worked together. Did they even know each other? Don't know. There was evidence in her, well, I don't know whether there was evidence in her car or not, but it was gone through, and I would love to know if they took fingerprints. I'm still waiting for her mom to call in. If she doesn't, that's fine. We'll just go over what we know from her mother's video, which is quite a bit, actually. I would love to know if the evidence that has been found, such as pieces of her clothing that have been found in the woods and whatnot, was ever tested for DNA. The feds were supposed to take over the case. Don't know whether they ever did yet or not. Her mother mentioned something about her daughter being involved with drugs. I'm wondering if that could have played a role in the abduction. And Christopher Below appears to be a serial killer. If you start reading his record and his history, I'd like to know when he's supposed to be getting out of prison on the case that he's in prison on, because we really need for him to stay there. I'd like to know if they fingerprinted her car as they went through it. It was being ransacked in the video by police in the video, or someone in a video. I know what it was. The video that was taken in the parking lot of the beach. Her car was being ransacked. So it would be interested to know if the police ever went through it and took prints. That's when it was being ransacked. I should have made them more clear in my notes, shouldn't I? Also, the person was said to have had a gun. So did either Below or Dill, for that matter, own a gun? that's something we need to ask her mom or police. And if you have any information, you can call the Kentucky State Police at 1-800-222-5555. And if you'd like to talk to me, you can call 646-716-6294. That's 646-716-6294. And again, the Kentucky State Police phone number is 1-800-222-5555. Again, she was taken in broad daylight, which really takes some gumption. There was a phone message. I don't know if it's sent from Heather's phone or to Heather's phone that plays a part in this case. How exactly? I'm not real sure. I would have to ask the mother. Also, could her boyfriend potentially be a suspect? I know nothing about her boyfriend or even his name, and if I did, I wouldn't say it. But it's a possibility because often significant others are suspects. Again, Heather was 23 years old. Her middle name was spelled very uniquely, Danyelle. I keep wanting to call her Heather Dawn. I just think the two go together, but it's Heather Danyelle. Teague, Teague. There are websites that you can look at for further information. There is whereisheatherteague.blogspot.com. You can also look at her original website, whereisheatherteague.com, in the Wayback Machine. That's like an internet archiver. She has a Facebook that you can friend, Where is Heather Danyelle Teague? Where is Heather Teague? Or where is Heather Danyelle Teague in the case of the Facebook? Heather Teague without the Danyelle in the case of the website and the blog. Again, she disappeared August 26, 1995. The witness was apparently looking through his telescope on the other side of the river when he saw this. Now, if anyone's familiar with that beach or that area, you can call in and talk about it. That'd be great, because I'm not really familiar with Kentucky. So if somebody could call in and educate me, I would be glad to take your call. If not, that's fine, you know. The initial police sketch was actually done off an old driver's license of Dill. Now, why that was done, I do not know. But the mother has some serious questions for police, and in everything that I've heard and read, the police have some splaining to do, as Ricky used to say to Lucy, because, there's a lot that just does not make a whole heck of a lot of sense. I'm not going to speak ill of law enforcement, because I have mucho respect for law enforcement. I really do. I think they do wonderful things. Sometimes I think that they get the short end of the stick, and sometimes they make mistakes. They're human beings, and sometimes they try to protect each other. There are a lot of reasons why they do things that they do. There's usually a reason. Most of them are not corrupt. Most of them don't do things in a corrupt way, and I don't think this was done in a way because they were corrupt or they didn't want to find a missing girl. I think that some cop wanted Dill to fit and went a little too far in making Dill fit for whatever reason. I don't know whether Dill had a record or the reason why they wanted Dill to fit so desperately. But they did. Christopher Below, to me, is a better suspect. And he also has a record of this type of crime. If you look up the case, you'll see pictures of him. While you're listening, you can see pictures of Heather. Again, this was Newburgh Beach in Spotsville, Kentucky. And Heather had flat feet and scoliosis, so she may have limped a little bit when she was in pain, because when you have scoliosis and flat feet, you do have back pain. I know because I have both. So you may limp. Again, she was tiny. She was only 5'2" and 90 to 100 pounds. 23 years old. Was taken on 8/26/1995. If you have any information, once again, please call the Kentucky State Police at 1-800-222-5555. The feds are also involved, as far as I know. To what extent at this point, I do not know. If her mom had called in, I would have asked her that. I want to thank you for listening. I'm going to cut this short. But again, I want to thank you for listening. I want to remind you that even though Heather's not a child, she's someone's child. And every missing person is someone's kid missing. Again, thank you. I don't have any updates on any of our old cases right now. As you know, last time we were supposed to do Dalton Masarchek, and that never got done. Hopefully next time I will have a real guest, and we'll have a real-length show. But you know what? I think this show went pretty well. I want to thank you all for listening, and have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful rest of your summer. And never forget, yesterday was 9/11. Never forget that horrible day. As if we forget, we're doomed to repeat. Thank you. God bless you, and good night.